Oh, wait. Something's loading. Something's
there we
loading.
go. There we go.
Hey!
Yay!
Yeah.
By George, I think we've got it.
Now,
Yeah,
where was the
for
recording on that?
For all of 10 seconds.
I've been recording since we ended the last call.
No! So you heard all my swearing and...
No,
Crazy
since we ended
comments.
it.
I see.
So I was just recording like the call ended, call started, call ended, call started.
Very nice.
I figured it might, I don't know, do something.
Yeah. Okay, well, should we get going?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Are we all excited to be here?
I am.
Yes.
Are we
So
all...
excited! Oh my god.
This is by far
Most-
the highlight of my week.
Is it?
Excited I've been.
That's sad, Pat.
That's
Tip,
pretty
sorry.
sad, Tip. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's okay.
sure.
That's the force of habit. He didn't even catch
All
it.
right,
That's
let's
good.
get started. I got some gags I want to do.
All right, let's get started. So welcome to another edition of Why Did Ask For?
Oh, hello.
Pat's starting off strong. He's got a Capri Sun instead of his normal rum and coke.
Well, guys, you know what?
Traded places with kid.
I felt very heavily criticized about, having a drink last time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick to the basics. Go back to Capri Sun.
It's not about having the drink. It's
It's
about
this. Watch.
your fucking pinky up. Yeah.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do, just so that I can make sure that this is classy, I'm going to pour it into a glass. So you two discuss amongst yourselves while I do this here.
So I can make sure the Capri Sun is classy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep it classy, Pat. Keep it classy.
In Canada, we call those Kool-Aid jammers.
Really?
We have those in America, I think.
Wait, what?
I think we have Kool-Aid jammers in the States.
Really?
I've never seen
Yeah.
Kool-Aid jammers. I've seen...
It's the same packaging.
Oh, okay.
I just assumed it was like the Smarties thing.
The Smarties thing?
What's the Smarties thing?
What you guys call Smarties, we call Rockets.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what we call Smarties, you guys don't have.
Ah. You
Our-
slide. devils.
Our Smarties are candy-coated chocolate. Jesus Christ!
Man! Capri Sun really tastes different now that I'm older. Really?
That's quite the fucking glass, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Smarties was...
Smarties,
Rockets.
candy-covered chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
Delicious.
Candy-covered chocolate. I mean, now, what was... Isn't chocolate a candy
M&M.
in itself? Oh, so it's like an M&M.
They're like an M&M, but it's different chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. That's okay, though.
They're delicious. Also good in popcorn, oddly enough.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was my first girlfriend years ago. She was like, she would have Smarties and popcorn all the time. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. She's like, you ever try it? Like, of course I haven't. It's gross. Not at all
Well,
gross.
You know, here in... you guys have Wendy's, I'm assuming, right? Do you have a Wendy's?
Who's Wendy?
Okay, there you go. That should
Of course we
That's
have
fine.
Wendy's.
Okay, you have a Wendy's. Frosty. You know
Yeah.
what a Frosty is? Okay. Well, I had this friend growing up that every time they would have a Frosty, they would get the French fries and they would
His
tear
name
them up
is
and they would
Tip.
throw them inside there. And they swore it was the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, that's gross.
That's disgusting.
Have you ever tried it, Dan?
Dipping them in is one thing, but like, no.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I
I mean-
like mixing them in. That's gross.
Yeah.
It's savory and sweet.
No, I don't know. I think it's more of a texture thing.
I can see that.
Like the fries would get all super soggy and gross.
Well, that's pretty much what it is that some people are taste, some people are texture. And if you don't care about texture, then you can do some pretty gross stuff.
True.
But if you care about texture, then, man.
My mind just went down. the
I was
gutter.
gonna say something, but I thought my wife watches this sometimes, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
So, it's been a while since, well, not been a while, but have a story that I would like to vent about my weekend. But Tip also had a bad day, so I think we should do a little competition to see who had the worst, or the most stress-filled day, I should say. Because it's not a bad day, it's just a stress-filled day.
All right, competitors, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you like to go
And
first, Tip?
No,
fight!
no. No, Pat, you go first. The honor's on you.
All right, so as we all know, here in the States, we have Mother's Day coming up next week, right?
Yes.
From the time of this podcast,
So do
it may
we.
be a little bit after, but don't worry about it. But here's the thing. Mother's Day is coming up. Now, we wanted to go take a picture for April's mother, which is a beautiful idea. It's a wonderful idea. We have a little one. We're going to dress him up all nice, and we're going to dress up all in the same thing. And, just a nice little family portrait, right?
Right.
Wrong. What ends up happening is that we are supposed to be there by 11:45. Hey, Mr. Data. And we're supposed to
Excuse
get
me.
there by 11:45.
Mr. LaForge.
Yeah.
I don't watch Star Trek. I was reaching out. Anyway.
Anyway.
So we're supposed to be there by 11:45.
Mm-hmm.
And I get up early. We're getting ready.
Wait.
and
Is this being done by a photographer?
Yes, a professional photographer in a local store we call J.C. Penney. Yes. So then...
My dad just calls it pennies.
Nah, whatever. I don't care.
This is fuck the JC.
Was that before J.C.?
Fuck JC, that's rude.
Let's
Isn't he a
hear
good
Christ
Christian?
hear you say that, you heathen. Anyway, so then we're supposed to get there by 11:45, and April's mom's not supposed to know about it. So what ends up happening is that she decides that she's going to have some big heart-to-heart with April's brother that day. So he's taking forever to get here. He's supposed to come change at our house, and he can't. So we're like, you know what, dude, we're just going to have to meet you there. We're going to have to meet you there. So we get in the car, grab the baby, throw him in there. We're going to JCPenney, and on the way there, April tells me, you know what? I'm having a really hard time turning the steering wheel. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The car won't turn. She's literally having to take both hands and do this. And please don't take that image out of context. And
Let's see the image again.
Already done.
anyway,
Done.
Dan, no. So the steering fluid was leaking. And we finally made it into the parking lot, and I'm like, April, make sure you park somewhere where there's not a lot of cars. I'm going to have to be quiet because she's probably going to hear me. Because your steering fluid's out, you're not going to be able to park correctly. So then she tries to turn into a spot where luckily there's no cars in 3 spaces, but there's cars on the other side. She's trying to turn. Oh, I got it. So she turns, and she barely makes it halfway through. Thank God she didn't hit the other car. Tip, please. And she has to back up and go into the other spot, which is fine. April's brother's there. We're like, okay, well, hey, at least he's here. So we can go with him to go get steering fluid or whatever. We go inside JCPenney. We go to the studio. There's tons of people there. I swear, this is the day that everybody decided to show up to take their picture. And it had nothing to do with Mother's Day. One was like a communion, and one was like a Marine. And I was like, okay, great. And so we're moving up there. And
They all have mothers.
we're getting ready to check in because we're old. I mean, we're late. And he says, and then April says, what's that smell? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, Joshy decided that he was going to unleash holy hell in his diaper at that exact moment. So I was like,
As you
Good
do.
boy. Good boy.
so thank goodness his godmother and April's sister was there to take him to the restroom to go, whatever, because we had to check in to do the photo thing. So we got checked in and we took the pictures and then we left. And then while we're waiting for April to pick out the pictures that she wants, April's brother said, hey, you know what? I'm going to leave and go get changed. We're like, okay, man, no problem. Halfway through, we're like, he's our only ride home. We can't drive the car home. Oh, God.
Nice.
So, and I should also mention that day, I didn't want to take a picture with my glasses on, because I normally don't wear glasses. I'm wearing them now because I tore a contact. So I was only wearing one contact, so I could just barely make out what was going on. So this is all happening with me looking like this, like Forrest Whitaker eye, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out what to do. He luckily remembered that we were having problems with the car. He came back. We were able to go to Target, and Target doesn't have steering fluid apparently. And it was just an awful day. It was just an awful day, and it kept getting worse. And the best part about that day is that we figured, you know what? It's been a bad day. We're gonna go get beers. We're gonna go get this thing, right? And we decided to go to Chili's, which is a local eatery. We decided to give the baby like some macaroni to snack on. We were feeding him like it was a meal by accident. That night at 12 o'clock in the morning, he cried nonstop because he had gas. So it was just like,
So let me rip some holes into your story there.
go on. I'm trying not to take up the whole time. That's why I'm going as fast as I am, Tip.
Let
So
me rip
please.
some holes in there.
Chili's is a national eatery.
I've heard of
I have a
Chili's.
Chili's around the corner.
Okay, let me first qualify this by saying I don't care. I'm just saying I went to Chili's. I'm not sure what's in Dan's country. Sometimes I think
I don't
I'm
think
not.
we have Chili's here, but I know what it is.
Well, there you go. So, but it's just something that it was frustrating because we thought, the poor baby, he needs something to snack on while he's here, but we fed him too much, and that was it. Oh, and Dan, you'd be really proud of me, actually, because I was sitting at the bar waiting to get the table with my brother-in-law and my father-in-law, and there's a hockey game on. And I said, you know what? I need to learn how hockey works, because Tip and Dan are always talking about hockey. So I turned to my brother-in-law and I said, hey, Alex, tell me, how does this work? And the guy to the left of me at the bar hears me say that, and he's all, hey, it's just like soccer. All you have to do is get past the defender, and you have to go past the double wide line. And I'm like,
not at all like soccer.
Yeah.
There are
yeah,
similarities,
he kept saying. And despite the fact that it probably, maybe in his mind was that way, I don't know how soccer works. So it's like,
it doesn't really help either. So you should ask the follow-up question. So when he goes,
hell
oh, it's
are
just
you
like soccer, and they go, okay, explain soccer.
yeah, but you know what? This is one of those people.
See, what I thought was really funny is the Mexican guy asked another Mexican, how does hockey work? And so a guy says, it's just like soccer. The Mexican guy goes, I don't know how soccer works.
Hey,
Sure.
man. Hey, I don't, just because, Tim, please. I don't know everything about soccer. Matter of fact, I don't know. But
I
it was
don't
just funny how
understand
this guy just kind of interjected himself into the conversation. I'm like, who are you? Go away.
Yeah. I don't understand how soccer, like a team can be winning and they still go into extra time. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not tied. What do you need extra time for?
It's because it's called stoppage time. Like,
Yeah, whatever.
if they stop the game for whatever reason, they just tack that time on at the end.
So if there's like a delay for an injury or something?
Yeah, they just, okay, you get, and they keep track throughout the entire half.
That makes sense. And at the end they have those death shots, right? Where like everybody.
Penalty kicks are only if the game is tied and it's a championship or a knockout round.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna learn about hockey, guys. I promise.
Hockey is very different.
I'm gonna learn about hockey.
Hockey doesn't have stoppage time.
No.
Yes.
We only go
One
in
of these
overtime
days-
if you're tied.
Yeah.
One of these days from work, I'm gonna play hooky so I can learn about hockey.
Ah.
Clever.
Because, Pat does so much work anyways.
Tip.
True.
I do. Come on, please.
So, I guess it's my turn.
Yes, you're up.
So this morning I woke up at 3:30.
Nice.
Gross.
Yeah.
Afternoon
And,
or in the AM?
in the AM.
Nice. Go on.
So I laid there and I thought, well, shit. And got up, went to work, and everything was fine. No one was at work when I got to work, so I thought, well, shit. Then, everyone shows up. And it turned out I had been there an hour early because my watch had stopped. And I'm too lazy to pick up my phone and go, oh, it's that time.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, all the shit stuff's out of the way. So the rest of the day, I'm tired, a little upset. No, I don't really say upset, just like ready to kill somebody.
Not upset. Just, I'll fucking kill you. Don't talk to me.
As
Yeah.
is the normal work day in America. Go on.
Yeah, so get through the whole day. Packing up my shit to go home. Like, I'm done. It's 3:59. I'm off at 4. You were gonna hear tires and see smoke at 4. And walking out, and this guy walks in and says, hey, is this being delivered today? Well, no, it hasn't been delivered today, and receiving is closed. She's like, well, where is it? We need it for tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, let me find out what it is. He's like, you need to call him. It's like, dude, I know how to do my fucking job. So I look up and I see 2 orders for the same thing. I was like, well, 2 orders, same thing, same day, same person ordered them, my boss. So I go to my boss. I was like, hey, which company did you order this motor from? And she just like ripped into me. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what did I do? I asked a question. Long story short, I'm now unemployed.
Oh.
You
Really?
got fired?
No, I'm
Oh.
just kidding.
Ah.
I needed to compete with Pat.
Oh.
I got yelled at before to save my life.
No, but Tim, you see, yours.
Everybody loves Tip.
at least yours was in the context of a work environment where everything normally sucks. Mine was like on a weekend where it should have gone nice and comfortable, but there is no way in hell it's going to go comfortably. That's my luck.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to learn about here on this podcast is Patrick's luck.
Patrick, your day reminds me of my wedding day, actually.
Oh.
I made the mistake because I was in charge of my son that day because my wife had my daughter. And I forgot to bring like a diaper bag when we went to the church and then for pictures and then to the reception hall. And yeah, so he didn't get to nap because the wedding was like right at his normal nap time. And I was like, okay, he's going to be bitchy anyway. But he also didn't have a fresh diaper like all day. Yeah. I felt like the worst parent in the world that day.
That's how we treat people at Guantanamo.
But that, I mean, the whole thing with your son, you know, feeding him whatever and then having gas all night, sort of. I know it's not the same, but it like reminded me of that, where it's like all day the kid didn't have a fresh diaper, and I was like trying to get people to like go back to the hotel
To go get
it, and they're like, they would, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then they'd show up and go, where's the diaper bag? Oh, I forgot.
My gosh.
And
we were like, welcome to the wedding.
You know, it was like we were not in a good place. Like there was no stores close by anywhere that we could just pop in and grab some diapers. Or it was a poor kid.
Right.
That was the only bad part about my wedding day. I felt bad for my son all day. But anyway,
man.
Enough about that.
That's good. That's good that was the only bad part about your wedding day.
Well, in my eyes. In my wife's eyes, there was way more. But
You know what, though? I'm starting to understand why Ethan has it out for you. You remember that day when you let me be in my poop all day long and I didn't take my nap? So now this is why he goes around eating cat food and pouring yogurt.
He hasn't been eating cat food lately.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
We're out of it?
Like, I don't know.
Stupid.
Maybe he's onto wet food now, and I just don't know.
Dry food is better for the teeth, isn't it?
So, what you just reminded me of an equally odd story. So we had this cat for 20 years.
Right, as we talked about before,
Yeah.
it stayed alive
And
for
my-
spite.
Yeah, and my mom absolutely, well, she claimed she absolutely hated this cat. Like, I don't know why we have a cat. I hate cats, blah, blah, blah.
That's what my
So
dad
cat-
said every time we got a new cat. I fucking hate
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah, so Fred gets to the point where we should have put him down, and he stopped eating,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom just can't deal with it. And he's not eating wet cat food. He's not eating dry cat food. He's just not eating.
Just existing.
So she goes and buys him baby food
Smart.
and makes him baby food, and the cat loves it and eats it. And she probably prolonged his life, but like it's like, I hate this cat. Have some baby food, kitty. And
Yeah. Well, I
True
mean,
nature
you know,
of kitty lover came out. That's what happened.
that happened. Like I said, my dad, my entire childhood, we'd have a cat, and he's like, I fucking hate cats. We're not getting any more after this one, and then that cat would die or have to be given away for one reason or another, and then we're never getting another cat. And like 3 days later, he's like, I got you guys a new cat. So you didn't like cats.
Well, my parents are that way too. They had 5 cats at one point, and unfortunately, some of them kind of ran away from home, and we could never find them again. And they got down to the point where
ran away from home.
Check the Chinese
Yeah.
restaurants.
Right, I know, kidding, right? Check behind. I always wondered why the pet emergency place was next to Whataburger, but behind. I'm not kidding. I'll take a picture. There's a pet emergency center right next to Whataburger, right there on. Oh man, Tip, you know what I'm talking about.
Montana.
Yeah, thank you. And so they get all these cats, and the cats would disappear. They have one cat left, and just now, right as I'm dealing with everything with the stupid webcam. By the way, my day continued. The webcam wasn't working. I get a text from my mom with a picture of 2 little kittens in a box saying, "These 2 cats need a home." And I'm like, I can't get a cat right now.
Why not?
Well, I would love a cat. Don't get me wrong, I'd love a cat, but unfortunately, it's a 2-way decision. It's not just my decision. So,
Pat doesn't have marriage figured out yet.
No. See,
look,
Just
Pat-
do things.
Pat,
Yeah.
you need to learn a little thing called. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
You're Catholic, for God's sake.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's what you're saying? Okay.
Is it just do it and then be like, I'm
I
sorry. Can you ever forgive me? And she'd be like, oh, it's such a cute cat. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if you were straight up like, hey, can we get a cat? And she's like, no. And you're like, okay.
Well,
like,
I mean,
man.
here's the thing. Is
It's
this
the
I know
spice
that
of life.
my parents are soft at heart, and I know what's going to end up happening. I'm going to go back to my parents' house next weekend, and there's going to be 2 new cats. I can almost guarantee it. I
And
can
his room's going to be set
guarantee-
up just the way it was before he left.
Yeah.
Maybe.
His dad's going to be petting
Dude,
the cat.
speaking of cats, since we're on the subject, I saw a thing, a video, or it was a news story a while back. There's like a dude, I think he's got either autism or Asperger's, one of the two, and he just like builds shit in his walls for his cats.
I've
Nice.
seen that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Technically, Asperger's and autism are on the same thing now because they just moved Asperger's into the autism scale.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know this video is from a few years ago, but like,
Yeah.
he'll build like bulkheads.
Yep.
But,
and
like,
the cats go.
They're completely hollow and they're like carpeted inside, and there's like windows and shit. And he's constantly building shit in his house for his cats to run around in the walls in and shit. It's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's like
awesome.
because of his I can't
Condition.
remember whatever the condition was. It was either autism or Asperger's. He loves his cats and he just keeps building shit for them. It's friggin' awesome.
I'm a terrible person because I keep hearing Asperger's.
Asperger's.
You know why? Because you watch too much fucking South Park. That's why.
I'm sorry. Please. Dad. Sorry. Tell me more about the Asperger's.
If I could find the video, I'll post it.
I'm a
for you.
jerk. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. Go on.
No, it's not a big deal. I just all the cat talk
you
reminded me like
guys-
I wish
yeah.
I was a good builder because I would do the same thing for my cats.
Yeah, but then you're giving the cats the dominance at that point. You're like, this world is for you. And I've seen
No,
I think kind of
these
like what you're
tunnels
talking
are for
about.
you. Stay off my fucking bed.
Oh, okay. That's a clever way to look at it.
Yeah. But anyway,
Not inside the pillowcase and swirled around the head. Like, okay.
I've
That never
never
happened.
does it
I've
one
never
way,
done
Texas does it the other.
I've never done that. Although one time when I was moving from one wing of an apartment building to another, from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, I lost one of my cats. No idea where she went. But apparently she was, when I picked up all the bedding, she was sleeping on the blanket. And I had no idea. So I just picked up all the bedding into like one like hobo sack sort of thing. And I was carrying it over my shoulder. And like, I accidentally like stumbled into a wall a couple times. And I don't know if she... And I was freaking out. I'm like, I lost the fucking cat.
protected.
She's not here anymore. And then I go to the new apartment. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get here? And I figured out later that she must have been on the bed when. But I know for a fact I turned a corner fairly hard and like hit the blankets again. But I was like, it's just
poor
blankets
kitty.
and pillows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, it was padded, so.
Yeah, she was
Slight.
fine, but so I haven't, put them in a pillowcase and beat them against a wall, but
We didn't beat them. Well, I definitely didn't do it. Julian wasn't near a wall. He just swung it over his head.
And to be fair, the cat had just scratched Julian, like, really bad.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, but it was a funny way. And we were kids. That's the important thing to take away from this. We were kids. We were stupid. It was wrong.
who are you trying to convince?
I don't know, Peter.
Like, not me. I believe you.
Hey, well,
So I watched a really cool video last week. That Colin Fruiter's guy, this fucking plumber, built a hover bike.
ooh. Go.
It has
Hover bike, you say?
yeah, it has 2 paragliding engines. You know, like the backpacks they wear when they do the parasailing. And he put them on either end of the bike. They go in opposite directions like a Chinook, and he rides this fucking hover bike. It's awesome.
I've only seen a hover bike in one place, and that's the first episode of Video Game High School, where it's a tandem bike where these 2 guys are basically like hovering over it, and it's a clear Back to the Future reference. But I've never seen a real hover bike before.
Well, look
Yeah.
it up on YouTube.
You're gonna have to link
sounds
it. You're gonna have
pretty
to
cool.
link it for me.
I'm not doing links. Don't. I quit that weeks
I
ago.
said to me, Dan,
Oh.
please. I want to see. I don't care if anybody. I mean, I do care if they see it. Look, Google.
They
hover bike.
probably all have seen it.
Is it a fairly popular thing? Because I was.
It's a really popular thing. Mia Khalifa is one of the top 20 porn stars of 2016.
How the fuck do you go from hover bikes to porn stars?
I pulled up
Well,
YouTube. And,
not even.
that's what.
Not even skipping a beat. Just.
To be fair, you can go from pretty much anything to porn stars. That's.
Well, it's because I pulled up my YouTube to find the hoverbike video, and I'm subscribed to this Philip DeFranco channel. And I don't know why, because I haven't watched it in 5 years.
Okay.
And that was one of the recommended videos.
Gotcha.
One he did.
Apparently, that guy's pretty popular.
Yeah, he's kind of funny, but
I've never heard of him, but then I know that Bernie from Rooster Teeth has been on several of his podcasts, and I'm like, well, who is this guy?
I don't know. I've been hearing the name a lot lately, and for whatever reason, I thought people were talking about James Franco when they would say Philip DeFranco. So I was like, one name to a different face, and yeah. And then
I don't know.
Then
if
I
he
finally
still
looked
does
up
it.
Philip DeFranco, and I was like, oh, that's not who I thought it was.
Yeah. And I don't know if he still does it, but he used to end all his podcasts with, "I'm Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in."
I wonder if he says that to his girlfriends too.
Oh,
Doesn't look like the type that has.
Come on. I'm sorry, ladies. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm so sorry. Don't listen to me. We're gentlemen.
Hey, I tell him just the tip.
Oh, see?
Hey, baby,
I'm
you want to
a
come home with
gentleman.
me?
Don't
I'll give you
listen to
just a
these
tip.
Heathens. It's terrible. Listen to the Catholic here. Anyway. Hey, Tip, I got some good news for you.
What's that?
They're going to be releasing a Punisher-only series on Netflix.
Oh.
That's
I've got
right.
some better news for you, Pat.
All right, Tip, what news do you have?
Jon Snow's alive.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. That's kind of a spoiler, isn't it?
No.
No?
Anybody that follows that series knew that he wasn't going to be dead.
Yeah.
Like he
I
died.
am kind of pissed with at the very end. You know, I've been waiting all year for this to happen, and this is the last scene. And then it goes straight to credits.
I hope you screenshotted that, Dan.
Did you read the books?
Yes, I did.
So you know why there was all that shit with the dog?
Yeah.
Which is went from Punisher to Game of Thrones.
Fuck Punisher.
Hey, man. Let me tell you, that totally redeemed the guy who played Shane from Walking Dead. Because Shane was an idiot. I hated that guy. And then he plays Punisher in Daredevil, and he's amazing. So
He was in another movie.
But if you hated him, he was amazing as Shane as well.
no,
'Cause
because
that's the
Shane
point.
sucked
You were
like
supposed
holy hell.
to-
But his character sucked. The actor was amazing. The character sucked. And
That's
to
what I'm
prove that
saying.
the actor was good, he played Punisher really well.
He did a really good job playing Shane.
No.
If he
Shane-
made you
Yes.
hate him, he did a good job.
Maybe that's true.
That's absolutely
I
true.
posted a
think
link
of,
for that. Hover
Think of the fucking guy that played King Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
He did an amazing
hated-
job at making you
Yeah.
hate him.
It's true.
I mean, I've never wanted to kill somebody.
It's just that I feel like if in real life somebody made me hate them, I'd be like, hey, you're doing an amazing job there, guy. You know what I mean?
Well, real life is different, though.
I know, but I'm just being... It's like satirical, Dan, please.
No,
No, why? Okay,
I don't deal in satire.
fine. I'll just drink my Capri Sun and let you judge me.
Now you're actually drinking it.
That's what I've been drinking the whole time here, gents. Come on, please.
Yeah. Capri Sun and that big ass beer stein. I don't think
Eventually,
so.
eventually, I'm going to be catching up on Game of Thrones. I can already tell because, like I said it before, and I've said this many times, April's really into the Game of Thrones books, and she was telling me that now the show's going past
Yep.
the
Yes.
books, so
I
she's
think
kind of nervous to watch it.
The only storylines that haven't surpassed the books yet is Arya and Bran.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's still going with the book, but everyone else is like, well, let's kind of see what happens.
Although, with the first scene with Bran in this week's episode, they skipped a bunch of like the whole like journey to getting to where they are.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden, he was laying against the dead guy in the tree.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, there's only two storylines that haven't surpassed the books yet.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Hey, go on.
you know exactly what we're talking about.
I have no. Hey, you know what else though, Dan? I got great news for you.
Okay,
You're gonna be excited to hear this.
probably not.
Are you a fan of comic books?
Not really.
Are you a fan of the Marvel?
Not really.
No. Oh, okay. Tip, are you a fan?
I'm I'm not even being an ass. Like, I was never a comic book guy as a kid. Or
That's
anything.
okay. That's okay. Tip, are you a fan of comic books?
Yes.
Are you a fan of the Marvel?
Yes.
Then you must know about the Civil War movie coming out with Captain America.
Not only do I know about it, I've prepped myself last weekend by watching all my favorite Civil War documentaries.
Okay.
I almost did.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did because you're never going to guess what. For my birthday, and my birthday is coming up pretty soon, but I will not tell you the exact date because I don't want to get harassed. I will be going to watch Captain America Civil War this Saturday with my wife at, get this, Dan, the first El Paso Alamo Draft House.
So I went to an Alamo Draft House in San Antonio where the Alamo is.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't impressed. Moved up
Well,
to Fort Worth, went to Movie Tavern, way more impressed.
You are incorrect, and that's okay. That's okay to be incorrect because let me explain my experience because obviously that makes more sense. Not really. My last experience with an Alamo Draft House was a long time ago when I went to Austin to see Duran Duran perform live, by the way. And shut up, Dan. And we went to see Constantine when it first came out. And basically, it's amazing. It's a restaurant where you get to eat and you get to watch the movie. And the best part about it, everybody shuts up. Nobody says nothing. They're quiet the entire time. And they actually do say the thing where if you talk, we'll kick you out.
We kicked out Madonna.
Yeah, we kicked
We're
out
not
Madonna.
afraid to
We'll
kick you out.
And it was a great movie experience. Terrible movie. Constantine. Terrible movie.
Yeah.
But the movie-going experience was immaculate. So I'm real excited to see Captain America Civil War. The wife surprised me with it this weekend.
How nice.
It's funny because this weekend is her weekend since she's a mother, Pat.
Oh, I already took care of that, buddy. Already took care of that.
Is she going to be a mother again?
I think that would be a surprise for me.
You have to take care of it for the rest of your
That'd
life.
be a surprise
This
for
isn't
her.
hey, you're already a mother one time. Here's a present.
Surprise!
Can you imagine? How do you surprise your wife that she's gonna mother is like one day, oh, by the way, you may not have checked this, but you might want to check the thing one more time.
Remember when I told you I pulled out?
Oh my god. This went somewhere horrible. I was talking about Marvel movies.
That's 3 times this episode that we've gone from one thing to something completely different in 2 seconds.
And 2 seconds. That's right.
That's a pretty good record.
We're getting good at it.
I think we are. And I also think that's about a
though?
good place to end it.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Because we've been trying to do a shorter format, and we've been ending up at like 45, 50 minutes. So while it's shorter than what we were doing, it's not where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
It's not about the size, it's about how you use it, folks.
Giggity.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this week, and hopefully we made you ask. Why did ask for?
Why did end?
Bye.
See Civil
Capri
War.
Sun.